Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to Mindfulness Hour. So once a week, we spend an hour together, do some meditation practice, have a little bit of chit chat. So looking forward to today's practice and kind of chatting about what's been going on in our talks. What we're doing, or what we've been doing, is kind of a lot of talk. We've spent a lot of time talking about. We went through the 10 Bowls of Zen and did a lot of commentary about it. So really, we've been kind of a lot more intellectual about our practice, and I think that this is not. My general rule of thumb, if you've been coming to this practice for a while, is that you should, for every 10 minutes you spend reading, you should spend about 90 minutes meditating. And that this is just the Ryan Grimes rule of thumb. It's not really written anywhere. I've just found that's kind of the most useful for me. When I do reading about mindfulness, I find that it's not nearly as useful if I haven't been doing the practice. That the practice itself is very revealing, and it's just kind of like the readings that I do are there to help to solidify some of what it is that I've been learning. Like that maybe some question comes up, or maybe it helps to reaffirm. I go, oh, okay, yeah, right. I recognize that resonates with me. I understand that in my practice. One of them especially is about how compassion arises naturally out of practice. And I think that's something that just one example out of many that we, you can find your compassion for yourself and for others naturally just through doing mindfulness practice. And I think the normal practitioner or the lay practitioner, let's say, would go, well, how is focusing on my breath able to teach me compassion? And so that this is it's a good question. I think that's kind of one of the reasons why we do supplemental readings, and why we have why I do talks as well, is so that there's more to the practice than simply sitting. And nothing wrong with simply sitting as well, but it sometimes when we practice a lot without any kind of guidance at all about what's going on, we kind of, at least I have in the past, forgotten my intention. I just practice because that's what I do. I go, oh, today it's the next day. It's time to practice again. It's that time of the morning that I do my meditation, and I do it, and I forget what it is that I'm what it is that I'm there for. And I think that can tend to happen if we don't have anything to guide us whatsoever, and we just kind of end up doing things out of habit. So this is again one of the reasons why we do teaching alongside of the practice, but essential. And I'd say you don't even need to go through readings once a week. Essential is the meditation practice itself, because that's where the real discovery happens. That's the experiential learning that you get. And some of the stuff that I talk about obviously is tainted by my own biases and my own opinions about things. And anything that you read about meditation, you'll find that also has the bias of the author inside of it. And I would encourage you, as I do, not to take anything at face value. Don't take what I say at face value. Don't take anything that you read at face value. Use your practice to explore and discover. And I think this has been the encouragement of my teachers as well, that you don't accept anything as it is. We explore, we experience. And I think that's one of the things that makes mindfulness meditation perhaps different, is that it really is about, don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. So with that said, we're moving away from this kind of higher level intellectual talk, which is a lot about my opinions. And we're going to start going back downwards as we get closer to the basics. So the practice that we haven't done in a while is open awareness. So we'll be kind of transitioning into a period of open awareness coming up. And that's what today's practice is about. So we're going to be using, in the last few weeks, as we've explored 10 bowls, we've been doing a lot of focusing attention on the sensation of breath. And so it's an excellent object for meditation. I think that it's one that can be the most practical. I mean, it's extremely practical, has a lot of application. However, it's not for everyone. There are some other ways to practice that are quite beneficial as well, and so we're going to walk through some of those today, and start to move towards open awareness. What's open awareness? Open awareness is allowing our awareness to be open to everything that's happening in the present, right now. Right now, what are you experiencing? So you have 5 senses. Each of those 5 senses is bringing in data to you right now. Your sense of touch, your big toe, your left big toe is sending you information right now. But you may or may not be tuned into it. Your ears are collecting more information than simply the sound of my voice. There are other sounds that are around. There's maybe a taste in your mouth that you don't even notice. Right? Your eyes are collecting lots of information. So this is kind of what happens when we're babies, right? Is that there's just so much, and if you do look at an infant, it's like it's overwhelming. Why does an infant sleep every few hours? Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I think one of the reasons is just that their brains haven't figured out how to filter things out. So it's like it's just full on all the time that we're like, how do I discern all of the things that I'm seeing, all of the things that I'm smelling, all of the things that I'm hearing, all of the things that I'm feeling? It's just overwhelming. And so as we age, our minds, our brains get used to kind of filtering information, and so we can go, okay, I'm going to direct my attention this way or that way. And as we do open awareness practice, you might discover that, wow, this is hard, that there is a lot for me to take in. So that's not what we're going to do today. We're not really going to be focused on open awareness. We might do just a little bit at the end, but just kind of explore different present moment objects of awareness. We'll use the breath, of course, as one of the objects, and then explore around for different other present moment objects. So this said, just want to have a quick update that I'm going to Europe on Tuesday, and for a Search Inside Yourself retreat, among other things. And that means it's going to be a lot harder for me to be doing this practice at this time. So I will see if I can get something scheduled once a week, but it might be there's a little bit of a hiatus, of a gap of me leading live events for the next few weeks. I'll be back from Europe in the first week of August. So we'll see how that goes. I'll have to just have to see. This time is this time's like 11 p or 10 p.m. I think in London. It's like 10 p.m. It'd be like 10:10 a.m. to 10:10 p.m. to 11:10 p.m. So so there'll be a little bit of a gap, but I just thought I'd let you know. 11 p.m. in Netherlands. All right, so anyway, just thought I'd let you know at least ahead of time that that's happening, in case I forget to talk about it at the end of the meditation today. And let's get into our meditation for today. So would encourage you to sit comfortably. Lying down is a possibility. However, the one problem with lying down is that you can get too comfortable. And I'm looking at my ceiling because I have two nice bright lights on the ceiling that I can use if I were to lie down to help keep myself awake. But this really is, I'd say, one of the problems is that in meditation, we really want to be fully awake, fully alert, so that we can exert our maximum effort on keeping attention in the present moment. And that effort, when I say maximum effort, I don't mean that we're striving, we're straining really hard, that we are just using that natural alertness and awakeness to keep ourselves focused on the present moment. So I would encourage you to sit up, find a posture where your knees are slightly lower than your hips, if possible. For me, I have this nice meditation cushion that I'm sitting on that elevates my hips a little bit. You tend to not use a backrest, so that we're using our own muscles to keep the body straight and upright, and this also aids in alertness. And so this really is kind of the balance, is alertness on one hand and relaxation on the other. We want to be both alert and relaxed. So finding a posture that can be conducive of both of those. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Shoulders down and back. Maybe you want to roll your shoulders a few times to kind of encourage those muscles to relax a little bit. Chin roughly parallel to the floor. If you like, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, you could have a gaze about a 45-degree angle downwards. And if you do choose to leave your eyes open, just simply have a soft gaze. Lips closed, if possible. If your nose is clear enough to breathe through it today. Teeth slightly parted. There can be a tendency to want to clench the teeth, so seeing if we can let the jaw relax with the lips closed. And so here we are, arriving in our posture for today. And so I'd like to encourage you to take a moment to remember why you're here. You didn't come here on accident. There is some reason that you've chosen to meditate today. It can be something small, can be something big. Just kind of remembering what it is that you're trying to get, what it is you want. And now, whatever that thought might be, letting it go as best you can. And remembering that there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to accomplish from now until the end of practice. There's no one for you to be except for you, as you are right now. And that you don't need to be any better, any different. Welcoming the you that's here right now. And knowing that in this moment, you are exactly how you're supposed to be in this moment. So as best you can, letting go of that desire to be any different, any better, any different emotional state, seeing if you can roll out the red carpet. Welcome whatever it is that comes today. And so noticing that as you sit here, gravity from earth is pulling down on your body. Can you feel the weight of your own body? The weight of your arms, the weight of your upper body compressing your spine. Can you feel where your body is in contact with the supporting surface that you're sitting on? So I'm sitting on a meditation cushion. I can feel that cushion pressing against my buttocks. I can feel as well that the pressure on my buttocks is not even. That maybe the pressure is a little bit more on the left side, a little bit less on the right. And as I examine how the weight of my body is distributed there around the buttocks, I also notice my perineum, that there's a significant amount of weight right there on the perineum. So I can feel how the pressure changes across the buttocks. And then my legs. I can feel near the knees. There's contact between my knees and my meditation cushion as well. I'm wearing shorts today, so I can feel the skin contacting the rougher surface, the fabric of that cushion. Maybe you're sitting on a chair. Your back is potentially away from the backrest. You can feel the profile on your buttocks, but also your feet against the floor. Maybe your feet are resting flat against the floor. You can feel the pressure, the weight of the lower leg is being taken by the feet. So maybe we're feeling just a smaller amount of pressure on the soles of the feet. And so now beginning to let go of attention of the pressure at the supporting surface and starting to focus the attention towards the belly. So what do you feel at your belly? For some of us, we may find that the abdominal muscles are very tight. But even with tight abdominal muscles, there still is some movement of the abdomen with the breath. Can you begin to notice these small, perhaps subtle movements? For others of us, those abdominal muscles are relaxed. And as we breathe, there is noticeable motion in the abdomen. The abdomen expanding away from the spine as we breathe in, coming back towards the spine as we breathe out. So noticing that constant change. Moment by moment, the abdomen changes shape. Are there any two moments where the abdomen is identical? Maybe at the top of the inhalation, can you feel that moment that the inhalation is transitioning to the exhalation? At the bottom of the exhalation, can you feel as the exhalation becomes an inhalation? Is there a pause between those two? Bringing a great deal of curiosity. A beginner's mind. Is it possible to examine your breath right now as if it were the very first time that you noticed that you're breathing? And as you become aware of the breath, is there any commentary in the mind that's forming? Oh, I wonder why my breath is at this speed. So you can let go of any control of your breath as best you can. But what sometimes comes of that is curiosity about why is my breath this speed? Am I really in control of my breath right now, or am I completely passive and letting my body control? Often these thoughts show up. So your breath pace may change. Your breath may elongate over time. Your breath may shorten over time. No need to question this. Simply observe. And as we get distracted by thoughts, sometimes our mind moves to a stressful thought. And as we come back to the breath, we notice the breath has increased in pace. We're breathing slightly faster. Or maybe we stay focused for a long time. Maybe the breath naturally elongates. Doesn't matter one way or the other. Simply being present, observing in each moment the expansion as you breathe in, the contraction as you breathe out. And so as the mind wandered away, did you start thinking about anything in that period of silence? No worries, this is natural and normal. Can you, with kindness, escort your mind back? Come back to the breath. Let go of those thoughts, whatever they may be. Focus your awareness on the actual physical sensation of breath. And whatever happened a few moments ago doesn't matter. It's already gone. It's time to come back to the present. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Being present. And so as we sit here in stillness, what do you notice? The sensations in your body change over time. So beginning to expand awareness to the rest of the body. Noticing your toes on the left foot, on the right foot, your feet. What sensations do you feel now? Your ankles, your heels, the lower legs, the knees, the thighs, the pelvis, noticing the sensation of sitting. The front side of the pelvis, the lower back, the mid back and the upper back. Noticing what's here. Sometimes we hold tension in our backs. What do you feel in your back today? Once again at the abdomen, the chest. Feeling the chest expanding and contracting with the breath, maybe noticing the heart beating. The fingers, the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders, the neck, the face. Remembering that your face can be completely relaxed now. You often spend a lot of effort emoting outward with facial expressions. Your face right now can be completely relaxed. Noticing air passing through the nostrils as you breathe. Muscles around the eyes and the forehead. Noticing the ears on the sides of the head. The scalp, the crown of the head, the back of the head. And so here I am. This is my body. What sensations can you observe in your body now? As we begin to expand our awareness out to the entire body. Maybe you notice some perspiration on the skin. Maybe there's an itch here or there. Can you be aware of it without trying to change it? Is it possible to remain perfectly still in this practice today? With the exception of the movement of the body with the breath, of course. Observing physical sensations without trying to change them, without wishing they were different. Do you notice any discomfort in the body? In the hips, the knees, the ankles, the shoulders, the neck? And if, as you sit here, the discomfort you're feeling starts to get greater, by all means, change posture. However, I would encourage you to do it mindfully, to be aware of each and every small shift that the body makes. So if we decide to scratch our nose, for instance, and say our right hand is on the knee. So being aware of that right hand. Being aware of the feeling between the right hand and the knee. And then with intention, bringing the right hand off of the knee, extending the right index finger, touching the nose, scratching the nose, and then slowly bringing that hand back down. And noticing the feeling as we place the hand back on the knee. Mindfulness is being aware in the present moment. So can we be aware of everything and everything that we're doing? It includes small movements in the body, or movements that otherwise may seem insignificant to you. Seeing if you can make everything that's happening in the present moment something significant. So is it possible for you to have the entire body in awareness, to have all physical sensations in the body to be available to you at once? And as I leave you for a few moments in silence, you may find that your mind wanders a little bit more in those times. So remembering that this is normal and natural, and each time you notice your mind wandering, acknowledging that the mind has wandered. What is it that brought my mind away? And then letting go as best you can, reorienting the attention back to our object of meditation, which right now is focusing on sensations in the body as a whole. And now, on your next exhale, releasing awareness of the body as a whole. And bringing attention to the ears. Noticing the ears on the sides of your head. Now seeing if you can be aware of the sounds that are falling on your ears. Besides the sound of my voice, can you hear other sounds around you? Maybe there are fans in your room. Maybe there are sounds outside of your home. Being present with those sounds. As those sounds come and go, only happening in the present. Me, I can hear the early morning traffic noise, sound of the train going by. So is it possible, instead of decoding all of these sounds, labeling it train, car, fan, is it possible to just let those sounds appear in our awareness? To focus on the raw sounds themselves. We're not listening. We're not doing anything. We're not being active with our ears. or simply passively allowing whatever sounds that are there to arrive at the ears and be aware. And can we also expand our awareness to our other senses? The sense of smell. Your sense of smell doesn't stop collecting data when you're not paying attention to it. Is there anything that you can smell? How about taste? Even though you're not eating anything, is your taste collecting any information? And your eyes. Your eyes may be open. Your eyes may be closed. If your eyes are open, seeing if you can not decode anything. It's not table or chair. Instead, it's simply colors. After all, that's all the data your eyes are really collecting. Just different colors. It's your mind that decides what objects it is that those colors create. If your eyes are closed, your eyes are still collecting data. If you tilt your head slightly upwards, you might notice that even behind your eyelids you can detect the difference in light. And maybe even the upper half of the eyes is collecting more light than the lower half, even with the eyelids closed. What color do you see? Is it completely black? Or are there varying shades? There's splotchy colors. What's it like? What data are your eyes collecting? Sight, sound, taste, smell. Seeing if you can be aware of all of those four senses. What are they collecting in this moment? And so now beginning to let go of those four senses and bring your attention back to your breath. The feeling of the movement of the abdomen, expansion as you breathe in, contraction as you breathe out. Distilling our mind in this physical sensation for the last few moments of our practice. And so wherever you've been, whatever you've been doing, however the practice has been going, let's bring our full awareness to these next 3 breaths. Congratulations, everyone, for having made it through today's practice. Maybe take a moment to congratulate yourself. Set some intention to continue practicing mindfulness regularly, as you will start to see the benefits in your daily life if you do. And I'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thanks for choosing to spend your time meditating today. How'd it go? How was your practice? Please feel free to write in the chat. We'll have a look at that here shortly. And so this is mindfulness. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, or being aware of what's going on right now. As we practice, as we do more and more practice, it becomes easier for us to start to be aware of that in daily life. And that really arms us with the ability to get out of our autopilot. And so we do a lot habitually. We do a lot without thinking about it. And mindfulness kind of gives us that additional little window into self, like, what's going on here? What am I doing? Is what I'm doing making sense right now? And it's not even this active process. It's just that awareness, like, I feel tightness in my chest. Why? Why is that? My pace of breath is suddenly much faster than it was a few moments ago. And it's not trying to be aware of it. It's just that this naturally starts to come through our practice. So keep it up and you'll start to see results. You are bound to be successful if you keep practicing. Yes, and so if you've got other distractions like Gene, if you have like some animal in the house or some other people in the house making noise, that this certainly will change your experience of what's going on. Thanks, Natalie. And Jean says thoughts and emotions. And thoughts and emotions will certainly come up as we do our practice. I just caught a glimpse of Frank over there. Now he's out of the camera. Marita says, I will walk my dog mindfully. Well, this is it, right? I mean, this is the joy of mindfulness, is that we could start to bring it in every moment of our day. And so that, what's that tendency? The tendency is that if we have an empty moment in our day, that we need to fill it. Like, how dare any moment be empty or inefficient? And it's time for me. I better boy, you know what? I've got 10 WhatsApp messages. I better go check those. Oh, my Facebook Messenger has been dinging. I better check it. This is the kind of the tendency that if there is a free moment, that we do something productive. I mean, I think that's what's interesting too. Is that there's that trick, I think, the trick of social media to make us think that we're doing something productive as we engage with it. So the challenge is those empty moments. Is it possible for them to stay empty? That when your friend is late for your appointment, is it possible to, instead of rushing or doing something else, to pull your phone out and to try to check something, is it possible instead for you to observe your breath, observe life in the present moment? Because we only exist in the present. The present moment is the only time we have to live. I like John Kabat-Zinn says, you only have moments to live. That's all we have. We live in our moments. And those moments are here, and then they're gone. And life is precious and short. Can we be aware? Can we savor the things? Can we savor this breath? What was your practice like? Did you notice? Were you able to savor some of your breaths as we went through practice today? Thanks, Jean, for sharing. Thoughts and emotions come up as the birth date of the only child I gave up for adoption. Thanks, Jean, for sharing. My trip is I'll spend a few days in London. Excuse me. Catching up with old friends, also introducing my kids to London a little bit. And then I'll be moving, then I'll be going to Lisbon. Lisbon has a Search Inside Yourself certified teacher retreat. So it's a 3-day retreat. I'm kind of excited to go back to see some of the people that I trained with a while ago. So this will be good to catch up. I think is it Daniel Goleman, I think, will be there. I've seen a lot of his videos. I've read some of his book, like half of one of his books. It'd be nice to see Daniel Goleman and to hear him talk and to listen to what he has to say in person. Also about kind of the development of mindfulness and emotional intelligence. I mean, this really is key. I mean, mindfulness is so fundamental for emotional intelligence that I think emotional intelligence is just it's just a mental I mean, it's not possible really to exercise emotional intelligence without first being aware of your emotions. So looking forward to see Daniel Goleman, and then other than that, we'll hang out in Portugal for a little while before we come back here to Singapore. Hey, Poppy, and it's good that I'm meeting up. I've a kind of a chat with June B is another Insight Timer teacher, so I'm going to meet her while I'm in London. That's exciting. Some of my old mindfulness friends that I trained with many years ago will be there. Will be meeting me up. So looking forward to that. Seeing some old friends. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about doing a dual broadcast, but I think where we're going to meet, we'll meet somewhere near where I'm staying. So I don't think, like, I can't bring all of my gear, right? I can't bring my equipment. So, my mic's too big. I don't know. I suppose I could ask June if she wants to bring some stuff. But certainly we'll take some photos together. That'll be cool. And who knows? Maybe one day one day when I'm traveling, I'll schedule, book a yoga studio and have some in-person meditation sessions. I think that would be fun. But this trip, it's busy, man. It's I've got a lot going on in this trip. So it's going to be hard to squeeze it all in, and not to mention taking care of kids while I'm there. It's a lot of work. I plan to post them on IG. I think it's gonna be great, man. I don't know. It's my first time to meet another. No, that's not true. I met another Insight Timer teacher here in Singapore, thanks to, I think it was Sybil told me that hey, there's the big sit is happening in Singapore. Go check it out. And so I met another teacher here. So that's really exciting. Yeah, Robin. Sorry, yeah, it was. Sorry, Robin. Yes, it was Robin. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool to kind of meet up in person with the community, especially when I'm so used to being online all the time. Yeah, Aaron Lee. So I got to meet Aaron. Thanks, Robin. Thanks everybody for being here and for your support. If you are a premium Insight Timer subscriber, I have a few premium tracks. So, if you can support me that way, you can support me with donations as well. Whatever works for you. I'm here. I'm here for the community. I'm here to help you in your practice and to hopefully keep you regular. I'm like your prunes. Keep your practice, or keep you regular. In this case, your practice regular. Oh, it is. It's all the rage. 2 teachers, 1 broadcast. Yeah, well, that's cool too. 2 teachers from different parts of the world. I'd love to check it out. I'll see. We'll see. Maybe June can bring her broadcasting equipment over. I don't know. It's different. I can't go to her place. I just don't have the bandwidth to get over there. I'll be around London Bridge Station. So if you happen to be in London, maybe we'll bump into each other in person. Next time here, I don't know yet. You just look for Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. I'll post something, and as well as if you are following me, you will get a notification on Insight Timer, and there's like a little bell in the upper right, which will let you know when my next events post. So I do kind of need to feel out how things are before I commit. Certainly in London, I think like baby duty. I'm going to be on baby duty, so if I'm broadcasting and the baby starts crying, that's going to be an issue. All right. Thanks, Natalie, and thanks everyone once again for being here. And before we go, let's do what we always do. As part of our practice is to send well wishes out. So starting with ourselves, and then out to each other, and then to everyone in the world. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening right now, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all sentient life around the universe, big and small, near and far, good and bad, may we all be happy and peaceful. Be well, everyone. Until next time. Bye-bye.